and social media. And we need to realize and we need to reiterate the need of blended learning in primary and higher education. Uh, while talking education, I would like to begin with one anecdote, and that comes here. I would love to use Hindi for that, for the understanding of, you know, all common people, and that it should sink deep into their veins. Uh, there was a time when people started telling that what can the higher education do only? Students are weak in their schooling. And क्या हायर एजुकेशन अकेले कर सकता है जब स्कूलिंग में बच्चों पे कोई फोकस ही नहीं हो। जब इंटरमीडिएट और जो है सेकेंडरी एजुकेशन सिस्टम से कहा गया तो वो बोले हम क्या करें, जो जूनियर सेकेंडरी एजुकेशन है, जूनियर विंग है, वहां से ही स्टफ अच्छा नहीं आता। when it is asked to the junior teachers, they started telling that it is not our fault, rather primary education का टीचर तो कुछ करता ही नहीं है, तो हम अकेले क्या कर लेंगे। प्राइमरी एजुकेशन के टीचर पे जब बात आई तो उन्होंने कहा कि नर्सरी एजुकेशन में कुछ भी नहीं दिया जाता, किंडरगार्टन से बच्चे वैसे ही आ जाते हैं, तो हम अकेले क्या कर सकते हैं। जब नर्सरी और किंडरगार्टन के टीचर से पूछा गया कि कौन इसके लिए जिम्मेदार है बच्चों के करियर को लेकर के, तो उन्होंने कहा कि पेरेंट्स कुछ नहीं करते, हम अकेले क्या कर सकते हैं। ठीक है। इसके बाद एक बड़ा मॉकरी टाइप का इस एनेक्डोट में पार्ट आता है, जब उसमें कहा जाता है तो फादर बोलता है कि मदर ध्यान नहीं देती, हम क्या करें। माँ से पूछा गया तो उसने कहा कि इसके खानदान में सारे ऐसे हैं, इसका बाप भी ऐसा ही है, और जब वो नहीं कुछ कर सका तो ये भी अपने बाप पे ही गया, ये भी कुछ नहीं करेगा। दिस इज अ काइंड ऑफ ब्लेम गेम गोइंग ऑन, and let the mother has the final word. But ultimately, what I mean to conclude with this line, with these lines, that education cannot be seen, the whole process of teaching, learning, and academia cannot be seen in isolation. Rather, they must be, seen as holistic approach. And again, for that purpose, the primary and higher education should be looked in a way holistically. And until and unless we are not going to develop that approach, we must be ready for such anecdotes, and we need to accept whether we like it or not. When it comes to blended learning, so blending of what? In the, you know, see, I have adopted this image for telling a lot. It will take. Earlier, the oldest form of education was only through talk, lecture method. A guru in Gurukula used to deliberate apart, and Sishyas used to listen with great concentration. But nowadays, situation is not so, you know, um, holistic that way in that traditional part, because at that time there were no attention distractors, or even if it were there, they were very easy to be minimized, and focus of students and learners was quite good. And the focus span, attention span, that is being reduced regularly. Present day, it is said, studies say that uh, focus attention of a modern man is gone down, and even there is many terms are coming every day. One new terms added to the English dictionary, that is fubbing. What is that fubbing? When we start talking about the terminology, so who is a fubber? So phone plus snubbing is equal to fubbing. Uh, and when the exact meaning, when we look at the meaning of this term, it comes to at the gross root. Consequently, the analysis, it comes as ignoring a person in front of you by favoring your smartphone. And this smartphone has made its reach even to the hands of primary learners. and they are more engaged, and social interaction are gone down, and somewhere attention span is quite scattered. Earlier, when we can take the example of even mass media, when there was only one television channel, DD National, and we have to watch it whatsoever is being telecasted. But now there are many channels, and social media has created many YouTube channels and other platforms, Facebook and Insta, etc. Right, right from the beginning with the Arcut, and even WhatsApp is adding to the list. When and even LinkedIn, WhatsApp, Arcut, and a lot many things are over there. And that way, we need to realize and we need to focus holistically. What happened? The earlier the lecture methods, and based on that, all the Vedas and Shrutis, they traveled to the current generation. But teaching learning process at that time was having two poles only, the teacher and the taught. But later on, the third pole was also added, and in which in this process, teacher and the taught, teacher was the most important person, significant person. Then teaching learning took the another dimension, that was chalk and talk. Lecture method was a bit blended at the initial stage, branding and formal education initiated, and at the beginning of the formal academic concept, chalk and talk initiated. Even I may recall one of my colleagues telling me 10 years back or 12 years fairly in a classroom. She said that you must not use only white chalks, rather, you start using colorful chalks in your classroom so that to break the monotony of the board appearance. So that way, chalk and talk was the initial phase. I look it as the blending. And then even beyond, there came a generation when uh, projectors were introduced to class, OHP, overhead projectors, then LCD projector, and then video lectures, and PowerPoint came, and then video lecture, and then whatnot. So classroom environment changed drastically and holistically. Nowadays, the challenge before the teachers for blended learning, that how to mix and how to make it more, attention drawing lectures, so that it the monotony of the class may be broken, and the attention span, which has been largely reduced, to in that way how to make the classroom content more engaging. And for that purpose, time to time, a lot many experiments has been done. Interactive model of teaching came. The idea came that teacher and student should use half of the time sharing each other, and later on, after that, even the classroom subject teacher taught, and to make it, various teaching aids came, and people started utilizing and experimenting inside the classroom. And then there, in this chalk and talk method, it also went a long way. Now teaching learning third phase came, offline learning with technical support, with the technical support, how we can inside the classroom invite and engage the attention of the students. For primary education, I would like to, just play a very small, you know, video content that can be seen, that how classroom environment is, being changed, and this chalk and talk method was blended. So here is a basic of, computer session, where you can find. So moving, you can just imagine the kind of environment. This is not for the content where computer is changing the environment, and this is a kind of blended environment which is supposed to be used. Then moving to the process of this offline learning with technical support in actual classroom environment. So smart classes were introduced and teaching started over there. Then people started online learning with technical support, and that becomes virtual classroom. And in establishment of virtual labs also came practice in the higher education. Then blended learning with the technical support, where actual classroom environment should be added with the virtual classroom, and this came into practice. Here I would like to say that how school teaching can be, transformed, how a school environment can be transformed. And I would like to show you just a small video that can engage students a lot. See, in an Indian classroom, this video can work wonder for school teachers. Uh,
So is there any difficulty to play the video?
yeah, I am having difficulty in voice.
Okay. Nitin sir, am I audible? मेरी आवाज आ रही है नितिन सर? ये बताइए तो ऊपर वीडियो प्ले हो सकता है ना?
Yes, earlier I did it. This one. See, here the voice is. Here, voice is there.
No sir.
In this.
No.
Okay, no issue.
And one more thing can be done, you send the video and then I share the video with Devin sir. Maybe he would play later. So you can just continue with the presentation.
Yes, yes. So when we are going to see certain things, this is a very good thing in teaching accent, Indian accent. to the and introducing Indian variants to the students of you know schools. Uh, right now, moving to the coming back to the talk again, this online learning with technical support and making class fully virtual. But blended learning can have actual classroom environment, not shifting it and to the virtual classroom. One more point I would like to add over here. Am I audible? Right now I am audible or not?
Sir, quite audible. Kanji, audible.
So when it comes to the for primary education and higher education, primary education cannot be left freely to the students for autonomous learning. Rather, it should be directive learning. One thing, one bar should be there, must be there. If we are going for primary learning, primary teaching, and enhance their learning, for that purpose, directive, it must be directive and guided learning. But for higher education, we must go and or we should go or we may go and student may opt for autonomy a bit more. We can be more liberal and we can provide them autonomy for learning. See, what are the challenges behind this situation also? There came a new term popularly known as dead tree media. What is that? Earlier, books were printed and in ancient time, one tree is cut, a paper is prepared. Other tree was cut, a pen was prepared, and some herbs were crushed to color. And based on that, natural colors, students used to start practicing writing. And but we are having the huge human growth on this planet. Other animals, humans are more on this planet, and it cannot be wise step. That's why print media nowadays is considered as dead tree media, and this term was added into the Oxford Advanced Learners Dictionary. So for that purpose, this blended learning can be eco-friendly approach as well, and this can uh, help us not you cutting the trees and for making papers at least, and for making new for writing and other places. But every stage has its own beauty also. We might not be able to see beautiful calligraphies in the absence of ink and paper, and humans may be losing their creativity in that way. So everywhere pros and cons are there, and this of every method. But going we have to go hand in hand with time if we want to ensure success in life. And academia has to work, has to adopt the change the way society is going. Otherwise, education will be quite different. Teaching learning system will be quite different, and industrial and work environment will be totally, off route, and we won't be able to match our talent, our credentials, our skills with the required skills of industries. For that purpose, and change is dynamic, we cannot stop any change. As when technology was first introduced to human endeavors, there came a term in English, luddites. Luddites were considered as the people who are always afraid of the technological advancement in the pre-industrialization era. And they used to say that if human work is given to the machines, what is left for human? And at that time, when when loads were started being carried by the heavy machinery and production was introduced, at that time this question was raised, what is left for human? But definitely we find that even after the industrialization, the answer came that heavy work loads and hard work were was left to the machine, and mankind is to be for the intellectual work. Machines are there to soldier the physical work. But later on again, um, there was an author who wrote the year 2050, T.J. Gordon, Thomas J. Gordon, who said that by 2050, this question will be asked again, rephrased, when machines will start working intellectual tasks and soldiering it for mankind. And the same, I think the day has come when we need to rethink that what is left for human. But can teacher be replaced? Definitely, this question is before the teachers. If we are not able to develop a capacity to look at these machines as friends and as our colleagues and co-workers, I think we shall be also outdated. Because in one of my research paper, Indian Social Discourse, Relocating Caste, Class, Gender and Other Emerging Margins, I mentioned that by the second half of 21st century, what will happen? The society will still have three divisions. One is high-tech people, and the another one is low-tech people, and the third one will be no-tech people. High-tech people will be capitalizing on their knowledge, and they will be getting richer and richer and dominant in terms of power and money based on their knowledge, whereas low tech people will be serving for them, and no tech people will equally be treated as illiterates, uh, as we are treating them now. So illiterate people will not be those who cannot read and write. Rather, illiteracy means the tech in the that technological era. Illiteracy will have a new definition, and people, those who will be lacking completely the technological knowledge, they will be considered as new illiterate. That will be considered as new illiteracy in terms of academia and profession as well. So blended learning come with technical support, where still we are insisting on that actual classroom environment plus virtual classroom environment. It is not a leap from shifting from actual classroom environment to the virtual, rather providing the actual experiences of the classroom in even in the virtual scenario. And that is where we are standing, and that is where comes blended learning with the technical support. And for higher education, what we can do, and what are the requisites of blended learning? So information communication technological setup and infrastructural support, a lot has been done, but a lot more has to be done. A lot has been done in the sense that in the era of COVID-19, December 19, when COVID-19 started hampering the academic system, teaching learning system. And by March, I think 15th or mid of March, uh, all Indian academic system was completely gone on lockdown when we realized the significance of e-libraries and e-books, because the access of physical access to the printed books was totally lost to India. You know, there are multiple regions of going requirement for going blended learning. See, there are countries, and you please pardon me for giving me personal example. Uh, in 2009 or 10, I was selected for King Faisal University, Saudi Arabia. But the condition given by them that you will not be teaching students face to face as you are being recruited in the girls college, and gender mixing is not so much in Saudi Arabia. So you will be deliberating your lecture from one place, and the students will be, girls will be stationed somewhere else. You will be having mic, and you will have to deliberate with the help of mic, and they will be having speakers. They will be listening your lecture from there. Again, they will be having mics, and they will be posing their question from there, and you need to give the answer by being somewhere else. It was a kind of radio teaching practiced in Saudi Arabia, King Faisal University, in their girls' college. And face to face teaching was not supposed to be practiced, because at that time they were not, mentally as much prepared for co-education, and uh, or even girls to be taught by a male teacher. So that way, that was the compulsion given by them. I was quite hesitant, because there was one more condition, that I was supposed to teach them literature, but that too not being too personal. So academic scenario and cross-cultural scenario differs from country to country. And if we want to see us in global scenario, our competitors will always be US, UK, or other academic challengers, those who are leading technology from the front. And for that purpose, and to meet out the emerging industrial demands, we have to have this blended learning. This is the need of the day, and it is not the prerequisite, rather the requisite of the modern day education. And ICT, you know, involves the platform as the platform where information superhighways are the forum, and on the road of information superhighways, with the adopting the accessible tools of ICT, we need to go if we want to cater to the need of Generation G people. And because they are the people who are restless, and they need success. They dream success in no time. They want what their academic material, their study material immediately at their fingertips. So IT integrated infrastructure is already spreading all over India. But at the same time, I would like to say there are challenges. What happened today itself? I was supposed to deliver a lecture on blended learning, and we discussed in the morning that I'll be available 10 minutes beforehand the scheduled lecture. But suddenly, as I tried to log in from my office, uh, I found that network services were badly hampered. And from the department, I was not able to log in even. So I rushed through back home. And by 11, again reassemble all paraphernalia, all accessories, all computer system, and switch it on, and make myself available. So 10:55, I moved from there. And by 11, I tried to be I try to catch you online. These are the challenges before blended learning, and where we need to again think upon. And this is the situation. If this is the situation of cities where Meerut is also quite close to and your university is in located in city. Meerut is also located in quite close to your NCR, I think. Uh, Sobhit is in NCR, na? Sobhit,
Sir, Meerut, Shobit University, Meerut is in NCR,
NCR.
and Gango is a rural area
Okay,
nearby
so
Saharanpur. But though
but
Gango is a town, big town, it can be called a city.
so that way, while sitting in the cities, but we can think of the situation of villages, and really talking in terms of primary education.
Very true, sir.
Our students are ready, kids are ready, because they are having mobile in their hand. Their parents are providing them, whether they are rich or poor. They are having access to smartphones, but whether the schools are ready with the smart classes, this question has to be, whether the even some of the higher education institutions, those who are dealing in straight academics, like not in technical institution or BTech academics, there are facilities, but whether the straight academic institution, those who are offering BA, MA, are they are having are they are equipped with the smart classes? It's a big challenge to think. And that's why I said that a lot has been done, but a lot more has to be done in terms of IT infrastructure. And then uh, information superhighways. Now, we have talked about blending things, blending knowledge and learning. Can we have a quick run through with the de-blending? Here I came with the, because making the complete whole the lecture, holistic lecture, I have experimented on this banner, de-blending it. How to, this is a complete whole talking about the quality education and challenges and with its possible solution. And we all know inside academic stakeholders are probably aware about this, that what are the challenges and what are the problems we are facing. They are very practical, and nobody can deny, because, but we cannot say like Ludities, they said before the era of machinery. Rather, if we want to say, compete in the world, we have to equip us and provide this access to teachers, even those who are in remote villages. They are imparting education and having trained manpower. If we are talking about quality education, education is already there. But how many of us are, dedicating ourselves to the quality education? And now here is a small exercise that I did, just you can say, on de-blending, or see, this is a holistic piece of paper having some text spread over it. Approx 60% of the page is having text, and even 70%. And in bottom there are 4 5 images. In top there is a logo of the School of Liberal Arts and Languages, Soviet University. See, I what did I do? How does it look? This is the comprehensive and holistic look, but this is just an example. See, they are 100% text. I cut it, I deblend it, and then again I cut it, and I found it that here this is the bottom half of the paper having the resource person list, and with their topics and their affiliation. I deblended it again, and I found it only titles with the person, missing the information of their affiliation. Again, ID blended it. Here, people are there with their affiliation, but the information of their topic is not there. And what they are supposed to do, they are going to do, where they are going to talk, that information is cut. And here again, I reduced, only title of my talk is there, but who am I is not over there. So I de-blended it, and I found it here only name of a person is there, and nothing detail, no detail is there. So this information is completely an iota, a small particle in that information. But when everything is added, when topic person with the title is added, again the information is missing. But here comes again the holistic information. So similarly, we
So,
need
I would
to,
like to say a very beautiful example of critical thinking. I have
yeah,
prepared this plan. So, thank you so much. And with this poster, I never thought you just connected with
yeah,
blended learning.
de-blending,
Yeah.
de-blending and then blending, and then
Significance of
having
blending
the,
and what is de-blending. This is again very clear. And I would like to remind you that today at 12 you have an urgent work for you just told me.
so yes, I'll be moving towards the closer of the talk. it
It
is
is 11:51.
almost done. So this is the step by step. Then there comes the what UNICEF is talking about in in terms of fourth, SDG, Sustainable Development Goal. UNICEF is talking again, ensure inclusive and equitable quality education. See, when we talk about equity, equity must be looked in the broader sense, and the supports and materials and resources should be provided need based. It is not like that only IITs are required to have all the resources and remote located institutions are not. So equitable education will come only there, and then this is a report that the world is falling far behind in achieving quality education, and this is a report, and then that way these are the challenges. I won't go much in detail as I am winding it up, and here I would like to say share some resources of you know um, online resources for academics and for higher education, because some food for thought must be given there. So NDLI is a knowledge paradise for library users in post-COVID scenario, and it was developed for Ministry of Education, Government of India by Indian Institute of Technology, Kharagpur. And it is available university to have NDLI Club, National Digital Library of India Club. Such program you can also host from their platform if once you are the having club at your accessibility. So not only that, there may be YouTube channels, and you can also host NDLI awareness programs that we are using similarly over here. Then um, before going through, I would like to share one more small part, that is for academics resource. We can also prepare academic blogs, and for as material, we must not depend only Sodh Ganga, Sodh Sindhu, and Sodh Gangotri and all government platforms and like NDLI and all that. Even a teacher can prepare his own study material. This is my blog page where I have prepared a blog on non-verbal communication, and I have used multicolor text and tried to be as blended as possible, where graph is there, data is there, images are there, and sharing the body language for the non-verbal communication and their variations. And not only that, here you can also find the blend of this is not only textual, this is video also connected with that. Once you will click here, it will lead to you to the classroom where so here so really, this way we can make our knowledge interesting for drawing the attention span of the student, where non all parts of non-verbal communication like kinesics and proxemics and physical appearance, gesture, posture, and everything is done with that way. Kinesics, proxemics, and then paralanguage and physical context and all that. And last but not the least, there is a comment when we are engaged in lively conversation and seem to be engrossed in purely verbal communication, we remain ardent body watchers by Desmond Morris. So that way we can create study material, and we can add it to the you know students, and then we again ultimately I am coming to the role of the teachers, counseling, mentoring, and coaching. So what is counseling? I will not go much deep because we all are good counselor. We need to extend advice, but counseling cannot be done without being empathetic listener. So empathy is also required. Then mentoring part, who is a mentor? So as a mentor also, we need to, our role is also blended. like that. And we need to mentor our students and those who are depending upon us. Then there comes the coaching part, then process of training somebody to play a sport or to do a job better. So that way, and then even coaching and mentoring definitions are there. I will not go much into that. Here comes my philosophy of education, and that I wish to share. Uh, where in the we all may look into that in what job we are. Creating job worthy citizens is probably the duty of 21st century education and even blended education, you can say blended learning. Creating job worthy citizens, because if they have only knowledge but their knowledge they are not having skills to apply it, so our education will not work, our teaching learning will not work. And then value addition to their persona is the beauty of education. We need to create people with great values. I would like to tell here that, you know, the first virus was invented in Pakistan because they were having education but not value. They were having education but lacking value. So first virus was experimented in Pakistan. This is this may, but if value has been added to their education, they might have been pioneer in the invention of antivirus. So to enable and motivate the students, like even in India, we talk about ethical hacking. Hacking is negative, we all know. But when ethics is there, if it is done for some greater good, bigger causes, it should be there. And to serve the causes of world peace is the sublimity of education. It is where I would like to stop my talk. Thanks for providing me this opportunity. I humbly acknowledge my heartfelt thanks to all the authorities sitting over there in Soviet University, and I shall always be available for you in such greater cause. And thanks a lot.
Thank you
Namaskar.
very
Over
much.
to you.
Thank you very much, sir, for this enlightening, beautiful, wonderful session. You have given us so many things to think about later. And you have given us your valuable time. So, without any delay, I should say again, thank you so much, sir. And in future, I will again invite you to share your scholarly views with us.
Always,
In,
always, always, always.
thank you so much.
Okay.
Thank you all.
Always available for for your university, for your students, and because in sustainable development goals, it is also there that good institutions should partner and they should come together to create such things.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. In probably the next lecture series, I would like to do that. So thank you again. I would like to say thanks to the authority, our technical team, and all the participants. Thank you so much. And I would like to conclude with this prayer. Sarve bhavantu sukhine, sarve santu niramaya, sarve bhadrani prashati, Marco Siddhant Bhagavami. Jai Hind, Jai Bharat. Thank you.
So should I quit this session?
Jesus, Jesus. Thank you. Sir, on the right hand side,
Mm,
below right hand side, the webinar.
mm. How to stop sharing? Sharing is paused. Stop share. Okay. Yes. Below right, leave.
Easy.
Thank you.
Okay, sir. Thank you so much.